Have you ever gone somewhere to eat and the line was super long and you got really annoyed and you thought, I want to run inside with my guns and tell them to get my food ready? No? You either? Well, hey, you're going to love this story. Okay, so I don't know if you've heard about this or not, but did you read the story or hear the story about the McMess in Florida, where the guy that worked at McDonald's had to shoot a guy in the neck because the other guy was mad about having to wait for hamburgers? Okay, well, if you haven't, I'll put the link to the story. It's on Fox News, but I'll read it here, and then I want to discuss. Okay, so it says, a Florida sheriff called an altercation involving a worker and two customers at a McDonald's in Polk County last weekend a McMess after it left one of the men with a minor gunshot wound in the neck. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd explained in a video posted to social media that a McDonald's in the area had been inundated with online orders after several events in the area let out early Sunday morning. Judd said the worker, Yon Soto, 21, politely told Nicholas Jones, 18, and Peter Story, 20, who had pulled into the drive-thru, hey, sorry guys, we're way behind. Our online orders are overwhelming us. Okay, so just so you know, McDonald's people, as somebody that's worked in the restaurant and online ordering industry before, you can throttle those orders or turn them off if you're too busy. So like, do that next time, and then you don't have to shoot people. Okay, he said after Soto told the two men that the store couldn't take their order, they allegedly started threatening him. We're going to hang out here, they allegedly said. When you get off, we're going to beat you up. They threatened to attack the man who just told them, hey, we're busy, we can't take any more orders. And he did that because the manager told him to, and they threatened him with violence. Soto told the man he didn't get off work until 4 a.m., so he went back to work. What do these goober smoochers do? Judd continued, adding that Jones and Story then parked and entered the restaurant. I feel like Judd was really feeling himself on this interview to use the term goober smoochers. Okay, anyway. And they continued to threaten, he said. They're having a Mc-argument in the McDonald's over McHamburgers or lack of McHamburgers. He's really feeling himself. He said either Story or Jones allegedly said they had a switch and a 30 clip, and Soto replied he also had a gun. All right, we're all strapped up at McDonald's out here. Okay, Florida's wild, guys. All right. He said the manager stepped in between the three men to stop the McRabble. All right, that was a stretch, Judd. So they continued to threaten a mass shooting because there's customers there with firearms, Judd said, adding that Soto went to get his gun and threatened Jones and Story with it in the main part of the store. In fact, there's a good picture of it on there. It looks like a real showdown in the middle of the McDonald's. The manager of the McDonald's told Story and Jones to leave because they were trespassing, but Jones claimed that only law enforcement can declare he's trespassing, which Judd clarified isn't the case. Thank you, Judd. Isn't it always like the criminals that feel like they know what they can and can't do, but then like they're always getting arrested? Like they're the ones saying, I can do this, this is the law, but it's just like something that somebody told them in like a drug or alcohol-induced stupor, but they believe it for the rest of their lives. Okay. As the two men tried to grab Soto's gun, he pulled the trigger and shot Story in the neck, Judd said. It's a blessing that it was a very minor wound, but you know what? When you start shooting at guns, you'll get people's attention, and they'll let you have the restaurant, and that's just what they did, Judd said. Judd, he's going all in on the Mook terms. Jones then drove Story to a hospital and called the police. Soto fled, but was called back to the restaurant when deputies arrived, Judd explained, adding that Soto cooperated and has been charged with felony tampering with evidence. Okay, so the people that started the fight then went to the hospital and called the police, and then Soto fled, but now he came back, but he's charged with felony tampering with evidence. I don't really understand why he's charged with that. They were attacking him. Okay, Story and Jones were charged with trespass after warning and disorderly conduct. So he's charged with felony tampering for defending himself, and they're charged with trespass. Seems a little lopsided. Listen, folks, it's never okay to threaten a mass shooting. It's never okay to threaten to beat people up at businesses. And it's never okay to grab your ammunition and your firearm and run after a shooting, Judd said. He added that Soto did have a right to stand his ground and protect himself, and these guys are threatening to do violence after they've already threatened on the outside of the store and came inside.
Sorry about that. Training a bunch of new people.
All good.
Kind of a weird situation at the moment.
Thank you, man.
Have a great day.
You too, bud. They created a well-founded fear in him and the store manager, he said. It was just a McMess, but we'll sort it out because we're McGood at investigating McCrime. Oh, Judd. Officer Judd, thank you for all the McPuns. That was entertaining. I feel like this could have been handled differently, obviously. People love McDonald's. I don't know if I've ever wanted to eat anywhere so bad that I was mad that I would go in and threaten shooting people. So I try to think back to my own experience as a youth in situations where I was really hungry and we wanted food and it seemed like the place was not going to get it done quick enough. And I thought of an idea. I thought of a time that it was me and several of my friends. It was a late night type situation, and we went to a taco place in our town called Gringo's. I think it was a chain that is now defunct. But anyway, we go to Gringo's. It's 24 hours, and the line is just crazy. And we're like, man, we want these tacos. How can we get these tacos? And we came up with an idea. If they're struggling so bad to make these tacos in this restaurant, why don't we just go in and help them make these orders so we can get these other cars through the line so then we can get our food faster? All right? Now, of course, it seemed like a great idea at the time, but who in the world is going to let just 6 dudes come in off the street and help you make tacos, right? Like, that's not sanitary, that's not company policy, and nobody's going to do that, right? But in this case, we went in and said, hey, what's up? Let us help make some tacos. I mean, it was a pretty basic taco operation. And they're like, sure. So they gave us gloves. We all got behind the counter, and we're making tacos for like the next 30 minutes. Okay? We ended up getting a bunch of free tacos, right? And we all had a good time, and it's a good story that I tell on here. Nobody got shot in the neck. No sheriff made a bunch of Mick puns or taco-related puns, and everybody had a great night, right? So, like, my thought is this. You go to McDonald's and the line's too long, go to another place. Like, don't threaten violence. Violence never solves anything. I just thought this was a crazy story. I can't really even believe that this is the world we live in. I'm like, what are we even doing? What are we talking about here? Sometimes, you see something like this and you just want to wonder what was going through this guy's mind. What was going through the two instigators' minds that they thought this is a good idea? Like, did they think they were going to go in with their guns and like demand their Big Macs and they would get moved to the front of the line? Also, it's kind of shocking that they did go in with guns and not just get food, right? Like, I feel like certain managers would be like, oh my gosh, these guys have guns, just give them chicken nuggets so they'll leave. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? I don't know.